Hello and welcome to Only in Your Mind. Today we are going to be doing face paint for Valentine's, and when I was growing up, one of my favorite cartoons to watch was Charlie Brown. So I'm going to do Snoopy, and it's going to be a face paint. He's going to be here, and then I'm going to do a mask. So let's get started. So I'm starting off with a white face paint, and it is from Wolfe, and I'm marking off where I want the bottom of his feet to be, and it's kind of, about where I want it to be. There's the top of his head, and here is where his snout's going to be. Oh, and this brush that I'm using here is a number 4 Blazing brush from Marcella Bustamante. A great brush. I love it. Okay, so now I have where I want his face to be, and I'm working on his snout. And then I'm going to go ahead and go around and kind of start working on where I want his ear to be. Now, I'm looking at an image that I got online, and it shows that he has a heart right about here. So I'm going to start making one part of the heart, and that's one part of heart. And here is the other part of the heart. Now, later on, I'm going to come in with some red and fill that in. But let's go ahead and fill in his ear. We're going to extend it down and back of the heart, make his forehead a little bit bigger. Here is one of his fingers, I guess, part of his paws, and he's got 4 of them. So it's grabbing the heart, and here is his arm, and it kind of goes up in the back where his shoulder is, and here is the other arm, and then his fingers are right about here. So there's 4 of them. I'm just going to lay my brush down and tap and tap. Now I'm going to start doing his belly right here, and then his big foot. Now Snoopy has a big head and some big feet, and then his body's kind of small. So there's one foot, and I'm just going to bring it down a little bit more so it kind of looks like the image. And here is his other foot. Now it's all going to come together and look basically like one big blob of white, but when we outline, it's going to start looking really good. So I'm going to go ahead and fill it in, and then I am going to do his tail. In the image, his tail is flat, but because my eyebrows there, I had to do it that way. So I'm using Mehron red, and that's the paint that I'm using, and then I'm using a Mark Reid signature brush. And of course, you can use any kind of brush that you want. So let's go ahead and fill in some areas to make him look like Snoopy. I'm going to use this Fusion Power Princess, and it is lovely colors. And I'm going to use a round face painting sponge that I cut in half, and the white part is going to be in here, and the dark part is going to be here. So when you're using a face painting cake, like the one that I showed you, the Fusion one, you want to make sure you spray your sponge and not the cake, because it helps for a better, well, it doesn't make your paint kind of muddle together. But anyways, so I'm going to take the white, put it in the corner, and take the dark side and put it on the outside of the design. And I'm just going to go ahead and clean up my design. Now with that same white that I used earlier, I'm just going to put some white in the corner of my eyes, and then I am going to take that same sponge that I used, the white tip, and kind of like blend it in to the pink color over here. So with another brush, I'm going to take the paint from the Fusion palette or the Fusion cake, and I'm just going to use the purple from in there, and I'm going to make it like eye makeup. And then I'm going to take another brush that's kind of damp and just pull it in and kind of blend it in a little bit. And with that white face paint and that really cool blazing brush, I'm just going to make 3 teardrops here, and then what I do on one side, I'm going to do on the other. And I decided that I was going to take a stencil and add some design to the actual, almost looks like a butterfly design, which it kind of is a butterfly design, but I'm going to add some of this really cool twirly lines to it. And I'm using the white from that sponge again. So for this stencil, I did the twirly lines pointing upwards for the top of the design, and for the bottom of the design, I made sure that the twirly lines was pointing downwards. And for the top of the design here, I wanted to close it off so it looks cleaner, and I just extended that teardrop. And we're going to do 3 teardrops on the side of my eye over here, and then 3 more teardrops right here. And I'm going to start with the small one, bring it up, and then I'm going to start with the medium-sized one. And I always have such a hard time doing teardrops right under my eye because that's such a delicate area. It's hard to, I guess, put it down really, you know, straight there. But anyways, so after I'm done with that, I'm going to create this really big twirl coming from the corner of my eye, and then I'm going to go around my cheekbone right there, and then add another line like this. There we go. So I'm going to do 1 big teardrop right there on the bridge of my nose, and another one here and on the other side, and I'm just going to make them, of course, bigger. I'm going to have to push down my brush a little bit more, and I decided to add 2 more in the corner. There we go. So I decided to add another stencil, and this one has dots on it, and I'm going to go ahead and use that same sponge with the white on it and just tap, 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 and put some of those dots right there to close up the design. So with the same white paint and brush, I'm going to line under my eye, and then we're going to take some Wolfe black and start outlining Snoopy. Here is his snout. Here's the top of his forehead and around his ears, and let's go ahead and do the heart and his 4 fingers and his arm. So let's go ahead and separate his arm from that heart, and we are going to go ahead and start seeing Snoopy come alive, and you're going to start seeing him look pretty cool. So there's a couple of fingers on the other side, and we are going to do his foot now. Let's go ahead and outline that one leg and his foot. And let's come around the corner. And there we go. There's the other one. So we're going to separate those colors there. And remember to always refer to your image. Okay, so there we go. And let's just connect it and then separate it. There we go. And there's Snoopy's body basically, and let's go ahead and outline his tail real quick and the back of his body right there. And then he's got his lines to separate his little paws, his toes, I guess, on the bottom of his feet. So it's 2 lines, kind of curvy right there. Okay, and now it is time to do his little mouth. Or wait, let's go ahead and do his ear. I kind of like traced it of where it would look better, you know, and then right here is the inside of his ear. Now, in the image, in a lot of Snoopy drawings, it's not always colored in like a straight black, so you don't have to really color it in all the way, but that's what it looks like. And now there's his mouth right there, and that's the other part of his smile. And now here's his little button nose. There we go. And he's got 2 little slits because he is smiling really happy. So there's his eyes. And here is his eyebrows. So I decided to go ahead and do some hearts around Snoopy. And I'm going to erase some of these hearts later on because I kind of messed up. But there's the heart. And then I added some red glitter to the heart. I just tapped it on, and then I used the back of my face painting brush and rolled it in the actual glitter, and then tapped it onto face paint. So now it's time to do some outlining with some Wolfe black, and then I'm going to do some outlining of the outlining with some Wolfe white. But like I said before, I made a mistake with the heart, so I erased that and redid it, and I added some little dots by Snoopy's feet with another stencil, and it turned out to be really cute. And to make the hearts pop a little bit, I added some white highlights in it. And I gave myself some lipstick with that red face paint and some glitter. So we are coming to the end of this video. I just wanted to take the time to say how much I appreciate you guys and thank you guys for stopping by. And I wish you the best for 2022. It really sounds weird to say 2022 because it seems like I didn't even finish 2021. But you guys are amazing as always, and I'll see you back on my next video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me while I did this Snoopy Valentine's face paint. If you guys enjoyed this makeup, please leave me a like if you want. Subscribe to my channel. You guys have a wonderful week. God bless, and I'll see you on my next face paint.